Welcome back to Grassroots Media. Welcome back to this week's edition of the Terry's Flooring Billy Kaylor Show, where we cover everything here in Lower Afton with the Chuckey-Doak Black Knights football team. As always, I'm joined here with Black Knights head coach Billy Kaylor. Coach, how's it going this week?
Oh, it's going all right, man. How about you?
Yeah, it's going all right. It's getting a little warmer outside. I thought we were going to get back to the cooler weather a little bit, but man, we're still on a heat wave right now.
Yeah, it's 85. It ain't too bad.
That's not too bad. It's
humid today.
It's humid today. Yeah, it's going to rain a lot this week. We've got, of course, news to break to everybody. I'm sure a lot of people know by now. This will be released on Wednesday. We're recording this on Tuesday, but your game against Cocke County has been moved to Thursday now. So the rain, of course, affecting another game this year. We didn't knock on wood hard enough. We talked about hopefully we went through a smooth season with no Thursday night or no games that had to be moved from Friday to any other nights. But unfortunately, that Cocke County game is moved up a day. I know that messes with your schedule a little bit with practice and film and everything like that, but how have you gone throughout the week so far this week, kind of adjusting to that? I know really you haven't had the time to adjust to it yet because it was just changed a few hours ago, but when you have that happen, how do you adjust to that as a coach?
Oh, we kind of had an idea on Monday morning. I started looking at the weather and kind of had an idea it might happen, and so we kind of scheduled Monday with the eye toward moving it, and then it should just shorten your prep window a little bit. The big thing for us with all our young kids is, you kind of almost got to try to trick them into thinking nothing's different. Everything stays the same. It's just a Thursday instead of a Friday. Tuesday's a little bit longer. Wednesday's a little bit longer than a Thursday would be. You still got to get a little bit of work in, but it just scrunches your schedule up a little bit.
And I know moving into a game on Thursday, you get the shorter week. Playing on Friday and then to Thursday, it messes with your kind of your practice schedule and everything a little bit. But let's go back to that game on Friday night against Pigeon Forge. Opened up Region 1 3A play here at home. It didn't go the way you wanted it to in the end. Lost to Pigeon Forge. Did have some bright spots, though. I know that if you look at the score, it looks like it was a lopsided beating, but at the end of the day, you had a lot of great things on defense. You had a few great things on offense. Had that 30-yard field goal from Billy Hanlon, which was, I think we talked about, the longest that he had attempted so far in high school. So what are some of your takeaways in that game against the Tigers on Friday night?
And we improved. Kids played hard the whole time, which I was proud of. Offensively, first drive looked pretty good, and we spent a lot of time watching film Monday with our guys. It's hard to you don't want to pull too many positives from a beating like that, but you go look at some of the things that go wrong, and you leave that game as a player and as a coach, and you're like, man, everything went bad. And then you pull up the film, and you're like, well, yeah, it did go bad. But here's 3 or 4 spots that were 3 or 4 steps wrong, and if we're 3 steps better at these 3 positions, how does this play change?
Yeah.
And I think it was really good teaching for Monday for our guys to see, like, it felt horrible. But now let's look at it in reality and see, okay, it's this much better than it was last week. What if we get these 3 steps fixed? And see some growth, even though we lost, to see some growth was good. Thought Kipton kept his cool under some duress sometimes. I think at times we did things better up front on offense, not a lot, but at times. Defensively, we were in position a lot. We missed a lot of tackles, but we played some stuff well. At times we read pulls well, and we just, they're a really good football team. They do what they do as good as most people.
I like that first drive, too, because you saw a lot of poise from those kids. You saw Kipton have some deep balls that were just maybe a step ahead of his receiver. I know that you had a few great runs from Braden Green that moved you closer into that field goal range. You had the roughing the passer that actually did move you into field goal range. But on that pass, like I said, you were maybe a step in front of that pass being completed and being first and goal right there. But talk about Billy's field goal. He goes out there, attempts the longest that he had attempted so far, and nails it, and it was a perfect bounce off of the post out there, too. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, and it had some pressure in his face.
Yeah.
It was that would have been an easy one to pull. We kind of had a short edge on that side, and had some pressure in his face, and he followed through and did a great job. I mean, he's had a really good year kicking the ball for us. He has. He's been a real asset. Punted the ball well Friday night, so he's done some really good things for us as a kicker.
And I know on defense, it's hard to, of course, like you said, bring up takeaways whenever you allow 56 points. But a lot of those plays you talked about being able to notice the guards pulling and stuff like that. A lot of plays, if you go back and watch that game on film like you mentioned, there were a lot of their plays where they were either stopped at the line of scrimmage or it was a tackle for loss. It was just those chunk plays in the end that, of course, end up being game killers. But in the end, a lot of those plays were stopped short of the line of scrimmage or were just 1 to 2 yard minimal gains. So how happy were you with the defensive line in the front in that matter?
I think they did a lot. I think they did a lot better job. There's a lot of improvement there.
Yeah.
There's been times this year we've been rolled off the line of scrimmage, and against a really good front seven Pigeon Forge team, their offensive front's pretty dang good. And I thought for the most part we did okay on the line of scrimmage. Not always, obviously. We got areas still to improve, but did a better job of not getting rolled off and losing ground. Still got to be a little better contact with those offensive linemen, but. We made a lot of contact early in plays. We didn't finish a lot of contact, which leads to chunk plays and explosive plays. And you give anybody that many explosive plays, and they're gonna beat you. So we gotta continue to improve on that. But there was some bright spots for sure.
And you move into a game now on Thursday night. It's so weird saying Thursday night. It's going to be hard to get used to. But you got Cocke County this week. The good thing is it's a non-conference game, so you can kind of work some things out in this game before you go into a stretch where it's region games for the rest of the season. But before we get into that too much, of course, as always, we need to take a break and get a word from our sponsors in. So we'll talk about that home game here against Cocke County in just a minute here on Grassroots Media.
Pizza Inn's new Right Way Buffet is open and ready for you and your family. Now with new garlic buttery crust and stuffed crust pizza, along with salads and desserts. It's the best part of your day. The all-day, everyday buffet. Only at Pizza Inn Greenville.
At Corner Pond, the friendly and knowledgeable staff has the experience necessary to help you out regardless the need. Have an item of value you'd like to pawn or sell? Corner Pond can help. They pawn numerous items of value, including firearms, tools, ammunition, silver, coins, and much more. When you walk through their doors, you'll find well-stocked shelves full of electronics, gaming systems, fishing and hunting equipment, car audio and accessories. And don't forget about the room full of guitars and basses and amplifiers, or their outside lawn and garden equipment. Corner Pond is a case knife dealer and carries numerous used knives as well. Stop by and let the friendly staff at Corner Pond help you today. At 432 East Bernard Avenue, Greenville, Tennessee.
Welcome back to Grassroots Media. Welcome back to this week's edition of the Terry's Flooring Billy Kaylor Show, where we cover everything in Lower Afton with the Chuckey-Doak Black Knights football team. As always, I'm joined here with Chuckey-Doak head coach Billy Kaylor. So you're back at home this week. You're hosting Cocke County. Don't have to go up to Newport this year, but their fans still come down here. I'm very open about it too. Cocke County, a very dedicated fan base, I will say that. Very dedicated group of people that love their fighting cocks in every single sport.
Yep.
And they're going to travel down here, and they're going to make some noise. They're going to be rowdy, but I know your boys will be ready for that. So how do you game plan for that on a Thursday night game this week against Cocke County?
Oh, they're a bigger school. They got a lot of kids to pull from. They're athletic. They're big up front. Defensively, they like to bring a little bit of pressure, and they're talented in the front seven. So that'll be a challenge for us. We've really focused on trying to get better up front. So hopefully we'll pay some dividends there. Defensive or offensively. They'll spread around a little bit. Athletic quarterback, pretty good running back. They like to run the ball some, and then they do some good things in the screen game and the quick game. So it'll be a good challenge for us. They're a good matchup for us, I think. Good challenge.
I think they're coming down here this week looking for a win after last year's game, because if I remember correctly, were you the homecoming spoiler last year at Cocke County?
Yep, we were the homecoming spoiler last year.
And, of course, whenever a team takes a win away from you at home, that always kind of digs at you a little deeper too. So Cocke County may be coming in this week looking for a little bit of revenge after last year's game. I know you all are looking to get back on track too, so I think it'll be a good clash for both teams because you're looking to get back in that win column. They're looking to get that game back from last year. So do you expect a hard-nosed game on Thursday night between both teams?
I do. I mean, those kids play hard. They do. Coach Dykes does a good job, and they're battling. They've taken a couple of tough ones this year as well. So I think it'll be a good battle. It'll certainly be a good challenge for us athletically. They have some guys that we got to pay attention to. So it'll be good.
Do you think this will kind of be a tune-up game for you going back into region play also? Because we talked about how you jump into that Pigeon Forge game you get a week off where you play Cocke County as a non-region opponent, and then you go into 4 straight games with Claiborne, Unicoi County, Johnson County, and Gatlinburg-Pittman. Do you kind of treat this not necessarily as a tune-up game, but is it kind of a game for you to try to get back on track and get things situated going into region play again?
I mean, yeah, you look at kind of what's happened with us injury-wise over the last few weeks, and 6 starters in 3 games, and as young as we are, our goal is getting better every day. And I mean, yeah, you want to get on track going into region play, certainly, because we want an opportunity to play in November, play in the playoffs. But we got to look at what's right in front of us, and for us, that's getting better week to week. We've had a couple of rough weeks. We've got to get better every week, and if we do that, then we're preparing ourselves better for the upcoming region games, and that's great.
And as always, too, end of every interview, when you go into a game on Friday night, but it's Thursday night this week, you've got 3 keys to every game that you need to carry out in order to get a win. What are they on Thursday night?
Oh, we got to play, clean. We got to be make sure we take care of the football, which we've done a better job of that the last 2 weeks.
Did.
We got to win the line of scrimmage. I mean, we've got to win the line of scrimmage, and I guess we can go forward. We got to be a little cleaner tackling. We did a good job of initiating contact early last week, and we didn't finish any tackles. So we've improved on how clean we play. We've gotten better incrementally on the front. We've got to make big steps this week, and then we got to tackle cleaner for sure.
It'll be weird playing on Thursday night this week. This will get uploaded, of course, on Wednesday night. So if you're seeing this and you don't know the news, it'll be Thursday night. So please don't show up on Friday night. There will be nobody here, and you won't even be able to get into the gate to get down here to the field. Yeah, and it probably will be. Might be wet on Thursday night. The good thing is it'll be wet for both teams, so it won't be any advantage for any other team. But you will have the home field advantage on Thursday night. So I'll be there. Looking forward to seeing you on Thursday night.
Appreciate it, man.
Looking forward to see a Black Knight win on Thursday night over Cocke County, too. But until next time, thank you once again. Always a pleasure sitting down here in Lower Afton. Thank you all for watching this week's edition of the Terry's Flooring Billy Kaylor Show. Look forward to seeing y'all next time here on Grassroots Media.